In the ancient lands of the Ashanti, where the sun painted the savanna gold and the rivers sang secrets to the wind, there lived a time when wisdom was scattered like forgotten seeds. Folly reigned unchecked. Families shattered, villages burned from careless flames, and hearts broke under the weight of avoidable sorrow. In one small hut on the edge of the forest, a young mother named Amma knelt beside the empty mat where her husband, Kofi, should have lain. Tears carved rivers down her dust-streaked cheeks as she rocked her fevered infant son. Kofi had boasted of his strength, ignored the elders' warnings, and crossed the swollen river in flood season. The waters had claimed him, leaving Amma to whisper into the night, "Why did the gods curse us with such blindness? If only we had wisdom to light our paths." High above, the gods listened and sighed. "Mortals squander the little wisdom they possess," they murmured among themselves. "Let one creature gather it all into a single pot. Then we shall see what becomes of greed." And so the tale of Anansi the spider began. Anansi lived in a web spun between two tall palms, watching the village with sharp, envious eyes. He was clever, everyone knew it, and he had escaped death 100 times with his tricks. Yet no one truly respected him. They laughed behind his back, calling him the little thief who spins lies. That laughter stung deeper than any thorn. One moonless night, as Amma's distant cries carried on the breeze, Anansi overheard the god's decree. His 8 legs trembled with excitement. "All the wisdom in the world, mine alone," he whispered to the shadows. "Then they will bow to me. No one will laugh again." He set out at first light, a small empty gourd dangling from his silk. His heart beat fast with forbidden thrill. First he sought the sly fox, guardian of the secret of fire. "Brother Fox," Anansi cooed, voice smooth as honey, "share your wisdom with me, and together we shall feast forever." Fox narrowed his amber eyes. "Why should I trust a spider known for tricks?" "Because," Anansi replied with a sly smile, "together we will outsmart every creature under the sun." Fox, flattered and hungry, revealed his knowledge. Anansi caught the words in his gourd and sealed it tight. One treasure gained. Next came mighty elephant, keeper of the wisdom of strength and memory. Anansi flattered him with tales of endless grasslands, then lured him into a hidden pit. As elephant trumpeted in fury, Anansi stole the heavy wisdom and fled. "You play with fire, spider," elephant roared after him. "Wisdom shared builds herds. Hoarded, it crushes the one who carries it." Anansi only laughed. "Then I shall grow strong enough to bear the weight." On and on he went, growing bolder and more ruthless. At the river he deceived ancient crocodile, whose eyes held centuries of sorrow for a family lost to pride long ago. "Little spider," crocodile rumbled, "wisdom healed my broken heart. Why cage what is meant to mend the world? I seek only to protect it." Anansi lied, voice dripping false kindness. When crocodile turned away in sadness, Anansi struck, snatching the river wisdom and fleeing as the great jaws snapped shut behind him. Higher still, on wind-carved cliffs, he faced Eagle, mother and guardian of sky wisdom. "I see far, spider," Eagle cried, circling above. "Your path ends in a fall greater than any cliff. Turn back while you still can." Anansi clipped her wing with a cunning snare and stole her far-seeing knowledge while she shrieked in pain and grief. With every theft, the world grew darker. Fires spread unchecked because no one remembered old warnings. Children drank from poisoned streams. Amma's baby grew weaker. Back in his web, Anansi poured the stolen wisdom from countless small gourds into one great clay pot he had shaped in secret. It glowed with an inner light, humming like 1,000 voices speaking at once. He gazed at it in rapture. "Soon," he whispered, "no one will ever laugh at me again." But his wife, Aso, watched him with growing fear. One night she confronted him beneath the palms. "Kwaku," she pleaded, using his true name, "our children are afraid of you now. Our home crumbles while you chase shadows. Remember the love we once shared." Anansi's eyes flashed. "This is for us. When I am the wisest being alive, we will want for nothing." He turned away, and Aso wept alone. At last the pot was full, every scrap of wisdom in the world sealed inside. Anansi decided to hide it at the very top of the tallest thorny acacia tree, where no creature could ever reach it. In his haste and arrogance, he tied the heavy pot to his belly with a strong rope, thinking it safest against his body. He began to climb. Thorns tore at his legs. Wind howled through the branches. The pot's weight dragged terribly, bumping against the trunk and blocking his grip, but greed drove him upward. Halfway up, hidden in the bushes below, his youngest son Takuma watched with a heavy heart. The boy had followed silently, sensing disaster. Anansi slipped. For a terrifying moment he dangled by a single thread of silk, legs scrabbling for purchase. "Curse this weight," he panted. "If only I had more wisdom to make the climb easier." From below, Takuma called out, voice trembling but clear, "Father, tie the pot behind you, on your back. That is the wise way to carry a heavy load." Anansi froze. In that instant, a terrible realization crashed over him like thunder. His own son, whom he had always dismissed as simple, had spoken the plain truth he, holder of all the world's wisdom, could not see. Rage and shame surged through him. "Silence, boy," he roared. "You dare to teach me?" In his fury, he yanked violently at the rope. It snapped. The pot fell. It struck the rocks far below and shattered into 1,000 pieces. A blinding explosion of light burst forth, and wisdom rushed out like a mighty river breaking its banks. It flooded the villages, soaked into every heart and mind. Fools became thoughtful. The careless learned caution. Amma's child opened his eyes and cried with strength for the first time. Fires were contained. Rivers were respected once more. Anansi tumbled after the pot, crashing bruised and broken among the shards. For a long while he lay there, tears mingling with the glowing dust of scattered wisdom. Takuma ran to him and gently lifted his father's head. "Father," the boy said softly, "wisdom is not meant for one. It is meant for all. When we share it, it grows. When we hoard it, it slips through our fingers and leaves us empty." Anansi looked up at his son through blurred eyes. "I was the greatest fool of all," he whispered, voice cracking, "blinded by my own cleverness." From that day forward, the world was richer in understanding. Villages thrived. Mothers taught their children the dangers of swollen rivers. Animals shared their knowledge freely. And Anansi, forever changed, became a humble spinner of tales. He traveled from hut to hut, telling stories of his own downfall, warning all who would listen. Guard against the greed that says mine alone. For the wisest heart knows that true power lies not in hoarding light, but in letting it shine for everyone. And so the Ashanti remember, wisdom, like water, must flow to nourish the earth. Dam it up, and it will burst the banks and sweep away even the one who built the dam. Share it freely, and it will quench every thirst forever.